He was the kind of man who thrived in online debates. Every day he logged into forums, Facebook groups, and Twitter threads, ready to challenge Muslims. He had spent years studying arguments against Islam, not out of hatred, but out of the desire to prove it wrong. He believed he was standing up for truth. To him, Islam was just another ideology to dismantle, another worldview to deconstruct. Every response he received, every rebuttal he read, only seemed to confirm his position. He had the facts, the confidence, and the drive. But deep inside, something was missing. Behind every argument, there was a quiet, unspoken question. What if I'm wrong? This man wasn't driven by malice. He was searching, even if he didn't realize it yet. Sometimes the ones who shout the loudest are the ones wrestling most fiercely within. Every night, after the debates ended, after the notifications stopped buzzing, he would sit in silence, not quite satisfied. The victory of an argument could never fill the void of spiritual hunger. He had read quotes, articles, and even bits of the Quran, but always with the intent to refute, never to understand, until one day, something changed. It wasn't a scholar or a fiery preacher who altered his course. It was a single, simple, direct message. A Muslim reached out to him, not to argue, but to connect. The message was calm, sincere, and respectful. It didn't attack. It didn't preach. It asked a question, one that was personal and kind. Have you ever truly read the Quran? Not to debate, but to understand why we believe in it. That question, wrapped in humility and honesty, pierced through the walls of his intellectual armor. He paused. He didn't reply right away, but something inside him began to shift. That DM wasn't just a message. It was an invitation. Not to Islam, not to conversion, but to sincerity. It was a call to look beyond the headlines, beyond the debates, and into the heart of what Muslims actually believe. For the first time, he opened the Quran with a different lens, no longer trying to find contradictions, no longer searching for mistakes. This time, he was listening. And what he read shocked him. Not because it was strange, but because it was familiar. The mercy, the justice, the call to reason, the reverence for Jesus, the prayer, the discipline, it spoke to something within him. This was not the Islam he had debated online. This was the Islam of the heart. And the more he read, the more his questions evolved. He wasn't asking, is Islam wrong anymore? He was asking, what if this is the truth I've been chasing all along? One message, one question, one sincere invitation. That's all it took to begin the transformation. He debated Muslims daily, but it only took one conversation to change his heart and his life forever. He was known across several forums and social platforms as a relentless critic of Islam. Not a day went by when he didn't engage in heated arguments with Muslims online. He considered himself a logical thinker, armed with every anti-Islamic claim he could find. His posts were sharp, his tone unyielding, and his intention clear. He wanted to dismantle the beliefs of Muslims, one debate at a time. Yet, despite all the exchanges, no one seemed to truly affect him. Responses came and went, but his heart remained untouched, locked behind layers of intellectual pride and past prejudice. He believed he was on a mission to challenge falsehood, but deep down, he hadn't realized that his battle was not just external, it was internal. His constant debates weren't just about disproving Islam, but also about reinforcing his own beliefs, which, if he was honest, had started to feel hollow. Behind the screen, he wasn't a hateful man. He was someone who, like many others, had unanswered questions, unresolved pain, and a longing for something real. Religion was always part of the background, but it never satisfied the deeper yearning in his heart. The more he debated Muslims, the more he noticed something peculiar. Many of them responded with calmness, even when he was aggressive. They spoke of peace, purpose, and unwavering faith, not just as words, but as something they genuinely lived. This consistency confused him. Why weren't they angry? Why did they seem so grounded, so sure? His curiosity, though masked in criticism, began to grow. Still, he fought harder. He debated more. He threw every argument he had. But even as he typed his rebuttals, a strange unease crept in. For all his attacks, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was different about these people. And then it happened. After one particularly intense thread, someone sent him a private message. It was not a counter-argument. It wasn't meant to win. It was simple, respectful, and real. The message said, "I've seen you debate every day. I don't hate you. I pray for you. If you ever want to know why we believe what we do, not to argue, but just to understand, I'm here." That was it. No pressure, no preaching, just a door left open. That message disarmed him more than 1,000 arguments ever had. For the first time, he felt seen, not as an enemy, but as a soul in search. And for the first time, he started listening. The message he received played in his mind over and over. It was so different from the usual confrontations he was used to. There was no sarcasm, no challenge, no attempt to prove superiority, just kindness, a quiet, sincere invitation. And something about that struck him deeply. He didn't respond right away. In fact, he almost ignored it. But later that night, as he lay in bed scrolling through his phone, he opened the message again. It felt like a whisper that refused to be silenced. What if they were right? What if all this time he was fighting something he never truly understood? He decided to reply not with another argument, but with a simple question: why do you believe? The response came back with patience and grace. It wasn't defensive, it wasn't rehearsed, it was honest. The Muslim on the other side didn't quote dozens of verses or throw theological terms. Instead, they spoke from the heart. They talked about peace and prayer, clarity in the Quran, and how Islam had given them purpose when the world felt confusing and chaotic. That authenticity stunned him. It wasn't the Islam he had read about in biased articles or heard from angry voices. This was something else, something deeply spiritual, something that felt real. Curiosity took over. He started asking more questions, not to attack, but to explore. The person kept responding, always with respect, even when he slipped back into sarcasm. Every conversation chipped away at the walls he had built. He began reading the Quran for himself, not through the lens of criticism, but with the eyes of someone seeking. What he found surprised him. The verses weren't violent or irrational. They were reflective, poetic, deep, full of logic, justice, and mercy. The Quran spoke to him in ways no other book ever had. It answered questions he hadn't even known he was asking. He began watching videos of converts. He saw people from all walks of life: atheists, Christians, Jews, spiritual seekers, finding Islam not because they were forced, but because they were searching, just like him. For the first time in years, he felt something awaken inside his heart. This wasn't about winning debates anymore. This was about truth, and he was beginning to realize maybe the one who needed convincing all along was himself. As his journey deepened, the man who once debated Muslims daily began to experience something he had long dismissed: spiritual stillness. This wasn't something that came through intellectual arguments or emotional stories. It was something far more subtle and far more powerful. He found himself reflecting on the words he had once mocked, thinking about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whom he had only known through biased portrayal. Now, he was reading authentic sources, watching thoughtful lectures, and listening to people who spoke not from anger or defense, but from deep love and understanding. And the more he listened, the more he realized that what he had been fighting all these years was a shadow of Islam, not the real thing. One night, he came across a verse that stopped him completely. It wasn't one he had seen quoted out of context or used in debates. It was a quiet verse about God's mercy, about how even if a person had wronged themselves for years, God would forgive them if they returned sincerely. It hit him hard, not because he had done terrible things, but because he suddenly realized how closed his heart had been for so long. He had thought himself open-minded, yet he never truly gave Islam a chance to speak for itself. He had only listened to his own echo chamber. That verse felt like a personal message, a reminder that it's never too late to turn toward truth. For the first time, he cried. He began to pray quietly, uncertainly, just trying to speak to God without filters or pride. And strangely, it felt natural. Islam's teachings about oneness, accountability, humility, and peace made more sense now than they ever had. He remembered something the Muslim who messaged him had said weeks earlier. You don't lose anything by reading with sincerity, but you might gain everything. That sentence echoed in his heart. Soon, he stopped engaging in debates altogether, not because he couldn't argue, but because he no longer needed to. He had found something far deeper than intellectual satisfaction. He had found peace. His online presence began to change. He started posting quotes from the Quran, reflections from his journey, and messages of understanding. People were shocked. Some mocked him. Some asked if he had been brainwashed, but he didn't mind, because now, for the first time, he wasn't debating anyone. He was simply sharing what had changed his life forever. The turning point came when he decided to take a break from debating altogether. It wasn't out of defeat, but out of an overwhelming need to reflect. The debates that once gave him purpose now felt repetitive and empty. The more he avoided the noise of online arguments, the more he began to listen to the quiet stirrings of his soul. That private message, so simple, so sincere, had opened a door that couldn't be closed again. It wasn't just about curiosity anymore. It was about transformation. He started to notice how peaceful Muslims seemed in their daily lives. He observed how they handled hardship, how they prayed with discipline, how their faith wasn't just words. It was visible in their actions. He began to watch interviews and testimonials of people who had also come from a background of skepticism or hostility toward Islam. Their stories mirrored his own. Initial resistance, deep questions, and eventually a profound realization. One story in particular struck him. A woman who had once written articles against Islam, but found herself drawn in by the consistency and clarity of the Quran. Her words echoed in his mind. I wasn't looking for God, but the truth found me anyway. It was then that he understood. Faith is not always something you chase. Sometimes it gently calls you when you're finally quiet enough to hear it. He kept returning to the Quran, not just as a text to be analyzed, but as a message to be felt. And every time he read, he encountered something new. A verse about mercy, a passage about patience, a story of a prophet's struggle and trust in God. It all began to form a narrative that wasn't foreign anymore. It was familiar, comforting. Islam, he realized, was not the religion of anger or oppression that he had once argued against. It was a faith of peace, discipline, and sincere connection to the Creator. It was filled with wisdom that touched the heart, not just the intellect. By now, he had formed a bond with the person who had sent him that life-changing message. Their conversations moved beyond theology. They spoke about life, purpose, and inner peace. That Muslim never pushed, never pressured, never claimed superiority. They simply walked beside him on the journey, and in that companionship, he found what he had been missing all along. Not just answers, but truth wrapped in humility. That, more than any debate, was what changed his life. He reached a moment when silence felt louder than all the arguments he had ever made. The more he withdrew from debate, the more he immersed himself in solitude, reading, and self-reflection. In that stillness, he began to notice something extraordinary. His heart was changing. The hostility that once drove him to debate was being replaced with humility. The ego that made him believe he was always right was now being softened by the realization that he had barely scratched the surface of what truth actually is. The daily DM conversations with the Muslim brother had become the most meaningful part of his day. They weren't just about Islam anymore. They were about life, honesty, purpose, and the longing we all share to find peace in a chaotic world. One evening, he opened a YouTube video titled, "Why I Left Atheism for Islam." The man in the video spoke calmly, without theatrics, explaining how his journey wasn't about losing logic, but about finally uniting it with spirituality. That struck a chord. For so long, he thought logic and faith were enemies. But Islam wasn't asking him to abandon his intellect. It was simply calling him to open his heart alongside his mind. The teachings of the Quran didn't demand blind belief. They encouraged reflection, questioning, and understanding. He saw how verses often began with, "Do they not think? And do they not reflect?" Islam wasn't afraid of questions. It welcomed them. Eventually, he began praying. Clumsily at first, with YouTube videos as his guide, he learned how to make wudu, how to bow, how to say the words. But more than the mechanics, it was the feeling that overwhelmed him. In sujood, the moment of prostration, he felt something he never had before, complete surrender, not out of fear, but out of love. Tears flowed without warning. In that moment, he wasn't the former atheist, the proud debater, or the online critic. He was just a soul finally talking to his creator. He messaged the brother again and said, "I think I'm ready." They spoke on the phone, and with quiet sincerity, he uttered the Shahada. There were no fireworks, no dramatic announcements, just peace, pure, undeniable peace. A peace that had waited years for one open heart. The man who once fought Muslims daily had now become one, not through force or argument, but through one simple DM that changed his entire life. His journey stands as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most profound transformations don't begin with arguments or debates. They begin with kindness. One message, one gentle response, one patient heart can open a door that leads someone from resistance to revelation. The man who once argued endlessly against Islam, who dismissed faith as outdated and irrelevant, discovered that Islam wasn't something to be defeated in a debate. It was a truth waiting to be discovered with sincerity. He didn't find Islam in a loud debate hall or a viral video. He found it in the quiet of his own heart, through honest conversations and the courage to question what he thought he knew. His story reflects something many forget, that guidance doesn't always come in big, dramatic moments. Sometimes it comes in a whisper that says, read, reflect, ask, and listen. To everyone watching this video, whether you're Muslim, non-Muslim, curious, skeptical, or searching, never underestimate the power of respectful dialogue and genuine human connection. If a single message could change a heart, imagine what a sincere conversation might do for someone you know. Thank you for watching this journey. If it touched you, share it. Maybe your share becomes the message that changes someone else's life. Until next time, stay kind, stay thoughtful, and keep searching for the truth.